Now, measuring economic growth in terms of just GDP falls short of what we're really interested in, because in macroeconomics, what we're really interested in is the quality of life for people. We're interested in what is the standard of living. We only care about the economy because the economy helps us to have a better quality of life. But there are things that GDP does not measure that we care about, right? There's lots of things besides just total production that affect our quality of life. So I want to just talk a little bit about what other factors we care about. You're going to care not just about total product or total income, right? But besides income, we're going to care about health and education. And these are often two important focuses of development initiatives, because health and education, one, they make our quality of life increase, but two, they make us more productive, right? Human capital is right here in our production function. As people get more education and they are healthier, they're going to be more productive. So improving health and education of a population helps us have a better quality of life through those two ways. We care also about employment. You know, some countries that are natural resource rich, they can have high GDP simply by extracting resources and exporting them. But we know that people are happier being productive members of society. So when we have high unemployment rates, we're going to see people that are quite unhappy, even if GDP or average incomes are high. We care, of course, about inequality within our society, which is not reflected in our GDP numbers. We have other measures of inequality that we won't get into in this class. We care about the environment. Speaking of those extractive economies, GDP captures only what is being sold, not what you're giving up to sell it. Say Indonesia deforests a large portion of their rainforest to export lumber. GDP numbers are going to be high, even though the country is losing some of their natural resources. And then the last thing that I want to mention here is freedom. We care about freedom of speech, freedom of information. There's lots of different freedoms that contribute to our own individual quality of life. And in fact, one school of thought within development economics is that economic development, that the primary focus of that should be in increasing freedoms, and that when we aim to increase production or income, what we're really doing is trying to increase people's economic freedom. When you have more income, you can make choices in your life. You can choose to go to school, you can choose to go to college, you could choose what kind of job you get. You can choose when to retire if you have a high enough income. This is obviously not my idea. The development as freedom is an idea that was pioneered by a guy named Amartya Sen, who won the Nobel Prize for his work in development. I'm actually going to wrap this section up with a video that describes the history of economic growth over the last 200 years. And I will admit this video is about 10 years old, so know that going in, but it's really a wonderful video that gives you some sense of history. I find that people in general have really no idea about how far we've come in the last 200 years.